Well, good morning and welcome to Water Basin for what will probably be the final leg of our trip here. We started here for sunrise. It's a really very cloudy morning. Luckily we got out here early enough and I got out to a spot that I liked, where really I could shoot anything. I have two tripods. I've got that tripod and I brought my other tripod as well so I could set two compositions up, because I just had a feeling with it being so cloudy that if we got any color, it was going to happen super fast. And in fact, when we got just sort of off, mostly to the south, we got some really pink streaks, and they weren't there but for 30-35 seconds. So luckily I had already done all of my stack images for my foreground, and I was waiting on that moment for the sky out focused to infinity. Took that image and then I moved my camera quickly to my second composition, and the pink had moved over there. I actually shot it in reverse order. Normally I'll shoot, if I'm doing a focus static, from the foreground out, and this time I shot it reverse wise to get the color. Anyway, if you're not into photography, you don't care. So yeah, it was absolutely excellent here. Really cool to walk around here because the plates of kind of mud and salt, sometimes they have like these 18-inch sidewalls, and these big plates. Sometimes they're smaller, just a foot or so. Sometimes they're white with kind of dirt around the outside. Sometimes it's dirt mud around the outside. It's white. Sometimes it's all white. Sometimes it's all dirt. And it seems like the more I walked, the more I found interesting stuff. One thing I'll say about that though is it's kind of hard to have fresh eyes here. So I've been scouting. I wanted to come to Death Valley for a very long time. And the result is I've seen a lot of images on Instagram and social media. And when I get to these locations, I certainly don't intend to copy anyone's photo, but it's hard to see it with fresh eyes. So there's a balance in, a lot of times I put these trips together, I want to go someplace because I was inspired by someone's photo. And that's awesome, but then the act of doing that makes it difficult to see it from your own eyes. So anyway, something to consider. We're done here for sunrise. My mission now for the day is just to sort of explore the southern side of the park and find compositions for our two sunsets left and one more sunrise. So that's the mission. Please join me. Here we go. Well, there you go, Artist's Palette and a good bit of Artist Drive. Now, most of the B-roll you saw heading into the area was just kind of the front half up to the Artist Palette overview and area. But I will say that from there, it's about the halfway point.
Yeah.
And then from there out, the drive is just as spectacular, but I kind of had my eyes out for some other photo spots, one of which I just stopped at. So hopefully you enjoyed. Now we are getting back at it. We're going to loop back heading south as promised along the west side road, which is kind of dirt and gravelly, and probably a pit stop over at Devil's Golf Course and kind of some of that kind of stuff. So yeah, looking forward to that. All right, well, we're not even 2 miles down this road, and that's probably being generous, probably closer to 1. And we're not even really to the Devil's Golf Course yet. It's just right at the very beginning of it, and there's a passage that you go over. It's got a salt run down through the middle of it, and I don't know why it's formed the way it has, but the salt crystals are just really big and tall and kind of scalloped and almost mimic the mountains in the background. A little more texture to them, but anyway, I found it really interesting. So I stopped, took some photos. Now we're hitting down the road. Well, there you go, all the way south on the very bumpy,
very bumpy
west side road. It was okay. I didn't find anything like I had hoped.
No, not really.
Just didn't.
A lot of rocks.
I did take a few shots, but nothing too much. We've now crossed back over. We went south just a little bit more down to Ashford Mill.
Ruins.
You saw that B-roll.
Yep.
And then we've kind of been making our way back north along the road. We actually went all the way back to Water Basin and then turned around again because I saw what I think will be a sunset shot for me, which is actually on the other side of the road here. So I think we're going to be waiting around here to see if the sky does something, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be, I think it's just, you can tell by the amount of light on my face right now.
Yes.
That
there are no more clouds.
No, yeah, there's just, no, there's not.
We'll see.
So anyway, here comes the images from our journey today. And I'll back that up with images I get here at sunset, provided I get some. Well, good morning from the Ibex Dunes Land Management Area. That is not our final destination this morning. We are actually headed to Saratoga, what? Saratoga Springs to do a little bit of a hike. And what I've done here is I just stopped because it looked like the sun was going to blow up here for sunrise and do something. So I just stopped along the road, got a very simple composition. I don't know if it's going to turn into anything or not. I thought, let's just wait. Anyway, then we're going to head and do the Saratoga Springs hike, followed by Ibex Dunes, just to check them out while we're near. And then we're going to head back up north towards Furnace Creek and probably do the arch, the natural bridge area hike there. So Alana and I wanted to do some hiking and just driving because everything we've done so far on this trip has been very much photography related. We've been up super early, we've been driving in the dark so we can be someplace for sunrise, and then we've been staying for sunset, and that means we've missed the beautiful drive and land as we come to and from in many cases. So we're looking forward to just a little bit more exploring and hiking today. This is our final day in Death Valley area, so yeah, here we go. there you go. What a neat little hike. And it's another one of those, who would think that you're going to find a wetland marsh area in the middle of a desert. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I know we sure did. So now the best light is absolutely, for sure and by far, behind us. But we're still going to go over to Ibex Dunes and check them out. If anything, maybe I just do more of a soft light minimalist, or sort of a real soft look. Maybe nothing at all, but that's where we're headed now.
Smiles on everyone. I think of you and of all I should have done.
Well, wasn't that cool? Dublin Gulch. It's actually sitting inside or just outside of Shoshone, and this would be one of the negatives. I'm looking at Alana right here. This would be one of the negatives of traveling the way we travel sometimes for photography, where because we're getting to places either first thing in the morning or at night, then the travel is often in dark. So we were making this trip back in light, and then we found that. So basically, rather than building cabins, old miners just dug their homes into the rock, so other than a door. And the thought is, or at least the what was on the sign, was that the name Dublin Gulch actually came from possibly the originator from a common named town in Montana. So anyway, how cool was that?
There comes a time when all you have is who you love. And Cornelia, you'll be all I'm thinking of. It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in, what place you're from, the wealth or the color of your skin. When all you had burns to the sky, it's all too late, and you wonder why, Cornelia.
Well, there you go. Just got to the top here of Natural Bridge Trail, which stops basically at the dry fall right there behind me. You probably couldn't see too much on the way in. I only carried the action camera on account of it being pretty much straight up the whole route. And yeah.
Hence the reason we're out of breath here.
Yeah, so we really enjoyed the drive on the way in. We found some things we hadn't coming back up that way. In fact, pretty much all of, what was the name of the pass? Jubilee Pass.
Road.
That whole road, actually, we didn't, both out last night and in today, there was no one. There was literally not another car that I could see in front of me, behind me, or past me in the other lane. So it's a very solitary drive in, but nice, and definitely different from our typical Ohio. Light's pretty horrific right now. It's 100% blue skies. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to stop and take a photo of the natural bridge, which I'll show you here. And then I'm not sure what our future holds for us. I know we're looking at Mummy Trail.
Yep, the Mummy Trail.
But that was we were going to do on our way out of the park. And
Yes.
with it being Bluebird Skies, we're not sure if we're going to give up.
Yeah, we got to stop
entirely.
at Furnace Creek and get some
Yeah,
data.
we're going to stop at Furnace Creek, get some data, talk to Bree. We haven't talked to her in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice hike if you're in the area. It's different, really steep canyon walls all the way through. About 2 miles, that's 1 mile up, 1 mile down. So we're looking forward to the down now. We're going to do that. All right, well, it's a wrap, and I'm back to the Z6. All this whole video series, I've been using my new GoPro Hero 9 as my primary vlogging camera, but it's simply gotten too dark here this evening, so it didn't look worth a hoot. We ended up not where we thought we were going. We thought we were going to Mummy Trail, and then we were just going to leave. It's been a great week with photography. We've had a lot of fun.
Yes.
The only thing about it is we were just getting tired, and our flight leaves tomorrow. We got to get up super early, and we thought, you know what, we're gonna skip this last sunset. We'll take on a hike and we'll get the heck out of here. But then we caught up with Bree, and if you don't know who Bree is, go back to the first video in this series when I introduce her. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call the series is yet, but go back to that first video and you'll find Bree there. Anyway, and she was like, hey, I want to check out this spot or that spot, blah 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 blah. Long story much shorter, we ended up joining her. And then we came back to Water Basin, which is where we're at now for sunset. It was an okay sunset. It was definitely enjoyable. Sky still didn't really do much. In fact, we didn't have a real burner sky all week, but that does not detract in any way from the trip. This has been an absolutely amazing week.
Yes.
With all kinds of stuff. We hiked. We drove all kinds of gravel roads, dirt roads around here. A lot of photography, but we are plumb tuckered.
Yes.
Most of these spots take a half hour or more of a very brisk hike/walk. I bet most of our sunrise sunsets, before we went on a hike midday, we probably had 3 miles on us.
Yes.
And then again for sunset, just with some of these, because you hike out pretty far and then you walk all around trying to look for whatever photo you want to take. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this series. It's been great for us. If you did, please give me a like. Also, please give me a subscribe. And I'm going to ask for one more thing. Please share this video or this entire playlist with someone that you think might enjoy it. I do all this for free, and I do it because I like to meet people like Bree through the social media, and that then helps me grow. That's it. We are going to do a wrap-up video where we talk about our rental car, our travel, and some of the tips and tricks, all the other stuff. So I look forward to seeing you next time. My arm is too tired to talk any longer. Bye-bye.